Only a few kilometers inland from the Seto Inland Sea in Kagawa Prefecture, you can find the Goshikidai Visitors Center. This center sits atop one of the many peaks in the Goshikidai area, and it educates visitors about the surrounding national park, in addition to holding numerous activities and events throughout the year. It was at one of these events in 2005 that something terrible was about to happen. A young girl was about to go missing. On the morning of April 29th, 2005, Onishi Yuki attended a bamboo shoot digging event with her mother and older sister. It was Golden Week, and this particular day, a Friday, was a public holiday. The perfect day for the Goshikidai Visitors Center to hold its annual bamboo shoot digging event. At these events, people signed up to walk around a designated area of the national park and dig up whatever bamboo shoots they could find. These shoots are often used in cooking, particularly in the spring and summer months, so events of this type were always popular. That afternoon, they were joined by 19 other families, as well as numerous volunteers from the visitors center, for a total of 60 people. The event began at 1 p.m. and was scheduled to end an hour later, at 2 p.m. During the event, the participants were free to walk around as they pleased, searching for and digging up any bamboo shoots they might come across. Once the event was over, everyone was to gather at a gazebo just outside the bamboo forest. At 1:30 p.m., half an hour after the event started, Yuki and her mother stepped off the main path as she found yet another shoot. This was Yuki's fourth discovery of the day, and she was excited to find more. "I'll go find another," she told her mother, and ran back to the path they'd just come from. It was the last time her mother ever saw her. "2 p.m. came and passed with no signs of Yuki's return. Worried, her mother set out to look for her. When the rest of the participants learnt the girl was missing, they set out to help as well. Yet by 3 p.m, there was still no sign of her, so the visitors center alerted the police. Police arrived 45 minutes later and immediately began their search, while the fire department arrived at 5 p.m. Police dogs were also deployed, and over 100 people searched the surrounding forests and national park until 9 p.m. No one found any sign of the girl. Hundreds of people continued the search over the next few days, expanding to include the nearby woods and pond, but they couldn't find her anywhere. They even drained the pond, but found neither the girl nor any of her personal items inside. It was as though she had vanished into thin air. How could this happen with close to 60 other people in the same area at the same time? Three years after Yuki's disappearance, a television program ran a special on her. According to them, 2 people had seen Yuki after she left her mother's side. One of them was a junior high student, another an adult man. The student claimed to have passed Yuki walking along the path. They shared a few words before both continued on their way. The man claimed to have seen Yuki at 1:40 p.m, roughly 10 minutes after she had left her mother. He said the girl was walking zigzag along the path south of the gazebo. If so, this meant that Yuki was following the path clockwise after leaving her mother. As mentioned earlier, Yuki disappeared during Golden Week. This is a period around the end of April and start of May, with numerous public holidays that line up together. If workers take a few extra days off themselves, they can get up to 10 days off in a row. Being a popular national park with many camping spots, and a Friday during Golden Week, there were numerous people at the park from all over the country who weren't necessarily taking part in the digging event, but were still nearby. Police initially suspected that one of these people may have taken Yuki, but the facts quickly became muddy. First, other than the 2 eyewitnesses from the digging event, nobody had seen Yuki. none of the campers, hikers, or visitors to the area. She was wearing a pink hat, striped orange and white shirt, and purple pants with orange stripes running down the sides. She clearly stood out. The actions of the police dogs on the day of the search also confused matters. One dog was given Yuki's water bottle to smell. It soon picked up her trail and followed it through the forest before stopping at a small hole in the ground. It refused to move from the spot. The next day, police sent out 4 more dogs. All followed the same trail to the same hole in the ground and stopped. The hole was not big enough for a person to fall in by any means, but the fact that every single dog stopped at the same point and refused to go any further greatly confused police. An episode of Super Friday, aired a few months after Yuki disappeared, attempted to solve this problem. A specialist on the show claimed that the only reason the dogs would do this was because that was the spot where Yuki's scent disappeared. For her scent to disappear, she would have had to have been lifted high from that very spot, for example, by a helicopter. A human carrying her wouldn't have been enough to kill her scent, and in such a case, the dogs should have still been able to have followed it. To test this theory, the show carried out an experiment. They had a girl walk from point A to point B, just like Yuki. Then, a man would pick the girl up and carry her from point B to point C. If the sniffer dog was able to follow the child all the way to point C, that would prove that a man didn't carry her away. Otherwise, the police dogs would have done the same thing. The dog followed the girl's scent easily from point A to point B, as was expected. It then continued straight on to point C, even though the girl's feet hadn't touched the ground. This, according to the show, proved that Yuki hadn't been carried away. Something else must have happened to make her scent disappear on that very spot. Yet, many criticized the experiment. For one, hundreds of people had been walking through the bamboo forest looking for Yuki when she disappeared, trampling all over her tracks. By the time the police dogs were sent out to find her, it was likely her scent had been muddied by the hundreds of other people looking for her. It's a question that, to this day, nobody has been able to answer. What happened to Yuki? Why did her scent end at that particular spot? There were certainly no helicopters or aircrafts to lift her straight up into the sky and away from the forest. And thanks to the hundreds of people searching for her afterwards, we also can't say that someone didn't pick her up and carry her away either. This seems like the most likely explanation, but to date, nobody knows who or why. The police were also criticized for searching only a small area of the forest. They only searched the areas north of the bamboo forest and never sent the dogs to the south, east, or west. No official reason was ever given as to why, but perhaps they didn't think the girl could travel that far on her own, or that someone else would have seen her if she did head that way. Numerous outlandish theories have become popular over the years since her disappearance. Some claimed she was eaten by bears or monkeys. Others said that she was attacked by a crocodile or a large bird. Maybe a childless couple kidnapped her to raise as their own. The list went on, but in the end, no trace of Yuki was ever found. The last person to ever see her was one of the event participants who saw her walking south of the gazebo. She was never seen again. If still alive, Yuki would be 20 years old today. What happened to her on that fateful day? Was she kidnapped? Did she get lost in the park? Did a wild animal attack her? Is she still alive out there somewhere, unaware of who she was and the family that are still searching for her? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. and I'll see you again next time.